and welcome back to my channel, or welcome here if you are new. My name is Kirsty, and in today's video I am bringing you 5-ingredient meal ideas. I'm so excited because today's video is in collaboration with Valerie over at Life with Valerie Rose. On Valerie's channel, she shares what's for dinners, weekly grocery hauls, and meal plans. If you like my channel, I know that you will absolutely love her. And when it comes to food presentation, she takes the award. Her food looks delicious and beautiful. Make sure you go check out her channel, subscribe, and let her know that I sent you. I will have her video and her channel linked down in my description box below. If you are coming over from Valerie's channel, I just want to say hello and welcome. Here on my channel, I share a lot of what's for dinners, recipe ideas, grocery hauls, and a little bit of our life here on our small farm. If that is content that you like to watch, I would love for you to subscribe and become part of my YouTube family. So our first meal idea is a 5-ingredient bourbon chicken. Alright, so for this recipe, of course, you're going to need some chicken. You're going to need some soy sauce. I'm going to use this coconut aminos instead. You're going to need some sugar. I'm going to have mine over rice. And then this is the season packet we're going to get. If I can find it online, I will link it down below. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut our chicken up into bite-sized pieces and get it going. I have my skillet on a medium heat, and I did go ahead and melt some butter. And so we're just going to put this in here, and we're going to let this cook until all that pink is cooked out. For my rice, I am going to go ahead and cook that in the Instant Pot. And the way I cook mine is I just do equal part rice to equal part water. And so I'm going to take this little cup that came with my Instant Pot, and I'm going to put 3 scoops of that of rice. That's 2. And 3. And then we're going to do 3 of these cups of water. And this next ingredient is optional, but I do like to add in a stick of butter. You don't have to add that if you don't want to, but that's how we do it. And then I'm just going to put my lid on, make sure my nozzle is on sealing, and I'm going to hit my rice button, which goes for 10 minutes, and that's it. Now that we have our chicken going and we have our rice going, we're going to go ahead and mix up our season packet. And on the back of this, it says that you need this season packet. You're going to need some soy sauce, water, and sugar. So I'm going to go ahead and add to this bowl, I'm going to add my 1 cup of water. You need 3 tablespoons of sugar. You're going to need 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, or this coconut aminos like I'm using. Which this coconut aminos, all it is a soy alternative. It's soy free, but it tastes just the same. Alright, so we got 2 of those. And then you're going to add in this season packet. Then I'm going to just get a fork and just kind of whisk this all together, and then we're just going to sit it over to the side, and then once our chicken is done, we'll add this to the chicken. So we cooked out all the pink in our chicken, so we're going to go ahead and add in this sauce mixture, and we're going to let this sit here and simmer for a few minutes because our rice isn't done. But if you let this sit here and simmer, that sauce should thicken up a little bit. And if it doesn't thicken up enough, you can always add in a little bit of cornstarch if you want to. But I'm going to let it sit here and simmer a few minutes, and I'll let y'all know if I put in any of that cornstarch. Alright, now my rice is beeping, so it's ready to go. I'm just gonna flick that nozzle and let the steam go out, and then we'll take it out and fluff it. And that is what's for dinner tonight. 5-ingredient bourbon chicken. With that bourbon chicken, I did not have to add in any cornstarch. After letting it simmer for maybe about 4 minutes, it went ahead and thickened up on its own, and y'all, it was so delicious. Our second meal idea is a 5-ingredient beef and broccoli. All right, y'all, so for tonight, you're gonna need some beef. I'm using steak. You could probably use ground beef. That would probably still taste good. But we just have this steak we had in our freezer, so I just thawed it, and that's what we're going to use. You're going to need some soy sauce. I'm using the coconut aminos, which is a soy-free alternative. And some broccoli. I'm just going to be using this frozen broccoli. You can use fresh broccoli if you like that best, or if that's what you have on hand. Just whatever is easiest for you. I don't know if I'm going to use this whole entire bag. I'll probably use at least half, maybe a little bit more. We'll just kind of see how we're feeling. We're going to serve this over rice, and I just have rice here in my container, and I'm going to cook that in my Instant Pot. And then this is the star of the show. It's the beef and broccoli seasoning mix, and for this I'm going to be using both of these just because I want to make a double batch of the sauce. And I like a lot of sauce, so that's what we're going to do. And with this, all you're going to do is like add water and soy sauce, but I'll show you step by step on how to do it. So I'm going to be starting this recipe out by getting my rice ready. One thing I love about cooking my rice in the Instant Pot is that even when it's done, like if it gets done before like the beef and broccoli, whenever the Instant Pot goes off, it stays on warm. And so even if the rice gets done before everything else, it will still be warm. With this steak here, I'm just going to cut it up into smaller bite-sized pieces. Like I said earlier, you can probably use ground beef. I actually thought about using ground beef when I first got those little seasoning packets. And my husband, he was like, I don't know about that. But, I mean, if all you have is ground beef and you're craving beef and broccoli, why not? So if any of y'all try this recipe, like go get that seasoning packet, and if you try it with ground beef, let me know if it's any good because I'm really intrigued by it. But we're just gonna go ahead. I'm gonna be cooking tonight's dinner in my wok here, and I went ahead and just melted some butter in the skillet. So I'm gonna go ahead and toss in the steak, and we're gonna let that cook for a little while before we add in the broccoli. After letting this steak kind of sit here and cook, it's not completely done, but it's getting pretty close. I'm going to go ahead and add in my broccoli. And I'm probably going to add in about, let's see, that's about a little bit more than half, but not a full 3/4 of that bag, which that's a 2-pound bag. And so I'm just going to kind of stir it into the beef. Now, if y'all like making Chinese dinners, I definitely recommend that you get a wok. It just makes it so much easier, and it heats up really well. This one is a enameled cast iron, and my mother-in-law actually got this for me for Christmas last year, and I love it. We use it all the time, so definitely recommend you getting a wok. All right, now that we got that kind of stirred in together, we're just going to let that sit there and cook. We definitely want to make sure that the beef is completely cooked through and the broccoli thaws out and gets cooked. And let's go ahead and get our sauce ready. After you get your beef and your broccoli in your skillet, I'm going to go ahead and make up my sauce. And now, so here's the sauce packet. Now remember, I said I'm going to be making 2 of these, so I'm going to be doubling the recipe. On the back of this, it calls for the seasoned packet, soy sauce, and water. Now I will leave down in the in the description box below the exact measurements for this if you're only going to do one batch. But since I'm doing two, I'm going to be adding in 1.5 cups of water. And then if you're only doing one package, you're going to do 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. And since I'm doubling, I'm going to do 4 tablespoons. So we got 1, 2, 3. It comes out slow. Oh, there's the rice. Alright, and then there's 4. Then after that, you're just going to put in your season packet. I'm going to go ahead and add in both of mine. It already smells good, so that's a good thing. Then I'm just going to whisk it all together. And then I'm just going to sit this on the side, and I'm not going to add this in until the beef and broccoli is pretty much done and ready to go. So the beef and broccoli are pretty much ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and add in my sauce. Let me grab it. Just going to pour it in. Got some still in there. Let me scrape that out. And then I'm just going to stir it up. And then I'm going to let it sit here and simmer for a few minutes, just so that sauce can have a little bit of time to thicken up. And of course, if it doesn't thicken up to your desired thickness after letting it sit here and simmer, you can always add in a little bit of cornstarch. I'm probably not going to do that, but that's a neat little trick. If you have cornstarch and you just want something a little bit thicker than it is, just add a little bit. And that is what's for dinner tonight. 5-ingredient beef and broccoli. Y'all, that recipe was so delicious. If you love getting beef and broccoli at like a Chinese buffet, I really think that you will enjoy this one too. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with me in the kitchen today. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new. And let me know down in the comments if you and your family have any 5-ingredient recipes that y'all love. Bye y'all.